India is currently boring a massive tunnel through the heart of the Himalayas, a multi-billion rupee project dictated by the brutal lessons of 3 separate wars. The focus is the Zojila Pass. Situated at 11,578 feet, this narrow stretch of National Highway 1 functions as the sole oxygen line for Ladakh, serving as the only viable route for moving troops, fuel, and heavy machinery to the border. Navigating this pass is a logistical nightmare. Military convoys are forced to crawl along dirt tracks carved into crumbling cliff edges, where one wrong move. India is currently but the geography itself is the greatest threat. Every year, massive snowfall and high-altitude avalanches bury the pass, blocking all ground movement for up to 6 months. This seasonal cutoff leaves Ladakh isolated and vulnerable. It means India's northern defense line can be compromised by the weather alone, long before an enemy force even mobilizes. The strategic danger of this bottleneck became clear in 1948. Pakistani raiders seized the Zojila Pass, specifically to sever the connection between Kashmir and Ladakh, aiming to choke the region into submission. Major General K.S. Thimaya responded with a move that defied conventional military logic. He ordered M5 Steward light tanks to be disassembled and hauled up the steep mule tracks to the 11,578-foot summit. The sight of Indian armor operating at that altitude broke the enemy's resolve. The mission, known as Operation Bison, successfully recaptured the pass and secured the region. 1948 proved a permanent strategic truth. Whoever controls this single mountain pass holds the fate of Ladakh in their hands. The 1962 Sino-Indian War revealed a different vulnerability. India needed to move massive reinforcements and heavy artillery to the border, but because it was winter, the Zojila route was completely impassable. This forced a desperate reliance on airlifts. These heroic flights were limited by small cargo capacities and entirely at the mercy of Himalayan weather. The lesson of 1962 was clear. A modern defense strategy cannot depend on the visibility of a flight path. It requires a permanent weather. India needed to move massive. Together, these two conflicts demonstrated that the high-altitude winter was a force as capable of defeating an army as any human adversary. In 1999, the Kargil War highlighted the final flaw in the surface road. Infiltrators occupied the high peaks of Tolaling and Tiger Hill, looking directly down onto the highway. These elevated positions gave the enemy a clear line of sight for miles, turning every Indian convoy into a stationary target. Indian soldiers were forced to navigate slow, exposed mountain loops, while enemy spotters guided heavy artillery fire directly onto the road from the peaks above. The takeaway from 1999 was that a clear road isn't enough. The supply line must be physically shielded from enemy observation to remain viable during a conflict. This is why the Zojila Tunnel is a strategic necessity. The 13.15-kilometer engineering marvel bypasses the surface loops, boring directly through the mountain's base. The impact is staggering. A 3.5-hour treacherous journey will now take just 15 minutes. Engineers utilized the new Austrian tunneling method to build this, blasting through fragile Himalayan rock and immediately reinforcing the structure with steel bolts and concrete. The finished tunnel is a self-contained, military-grade survival corridor, featuring smart ventilation, automated fire detection, and reinforced avalanche shields at every entry point. Once operational, the tunnel secures a 365-day logistical loop. India will be able to move heavy artillery, fuel, and fresh troops to the LOC and LAC instantly, regardless of the winter snow depth. In mountain warfare, speed equals power. By eliminating the seasonal cutoff, India ensures that its border defenses remain at peak readiness every day of the year. For the people of Ladakh, this project ends decades of winter isolation. It ensures a continuous flow of essential medicines and food, providing a level of economic stability that was previously impossible. With year-round access, the regions of Kargil and Leh can transform into 12-month tourism hubs, creating a permanent shift in the local economy. The legacy of 3 wars is built into these walls. 1948 proved that Zojila dictates the survival of the region. 1962 proved that air support isn't a substitute for ground lanes. And 1999 proved that exposed roads are high-risk targets. The Zojila Tunnel is the definitive answer to those 3 vulnerabilities, a permanent underground shield for the Himalayas. It is a message that Ladakh will never be cut off from the rest of the nation again. To see more in-depth breakdowns of the infrastructure securing India's borders, subscribe to the channel.